Now that I'm no longer on Twitter, I've been going through my news feed on my phone more often, and I saw this interesting article. 6 features we want to see in Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD 2D. Obviously the game is nearly done, so there's no way these are going to be implemented, but it's always fun to wish. Okay, let's see what they say. Random encounter meter. Before I read what it says, I mentioned something like this before to my husband. It would be cool if they did something like Wild Arms, where you have the option to cancel an encounter, so they could still have the random battles, but you have the option to cancel out of it if you wanted to with a random encounter meter. So I wonder if this is what they wanted to do as well. Oh, Bravely Default. I don't remember that game very well. I don't remember it having encounter toggle, but it looks like the players could increase or decrease the amount of random encounters. Although that's already something that you can do in DQ with spells and items. Oh my god, auto battle gambits. Is somebody going inside my brain right now and creating a wish list that I would want for this game or any game that has AI? I'm always saying that more people need to use Final Fantasy XII's gambit system. It's my favorite system ever. So I am 1000% down for this, because in DQ3, it'll show you different colors of damage, blue, red, and white, depending on the potency of that particular spell towards an enemy. And my guys keep using spells that are blue, which means that the enemies are strong against it over and over and over, and they don't learn from it. What kind of AI does it learn from their mistakes? This is another thing that Wild Arms was, especially Wild Arms 2, was really good at, is that once you do like a scout on an enemy and you find out that that enemy is strong or weak against fire, from then on, your people that can cast fire will only cast fire against those enemies. Why is a game in whenever Wild Arms 2 came out can do that, but they can't do this for this Dragon Quest 3 remake? Add assist options. It says it's notorious for being challenging, but maybe back then. Now with the quality of life features, it isn't hard at all. Just tedious. They are talking about the hidden items. I don't know if a radar would have helped with this game. One of the things that gamers are always saying is that there's way too many checklists, and I think Dragon Quest 3 actually has a good balance. The thing with finding those hidden items in pots and mini medals is that it is very cumbersome to have to press X or whatever button it is to search every corner, walls, pots, or any of that stuff to look for them. But if you utilize the proper abilities that's available to you, for example, the Thief's ability that will allow all the hidden stuff to glow around you, then it would be just fine, but you just have to hire the right vocation and use the spells at the right time. So yeah, I think I'll skip on their idea of this assist option. A top-down view. Okay. The tricky part about exploring on the world map is the viewpoint. A top-down perspective could have helped players navigate the various regions more easily between searching for treasures and dungeon locations. You know what? Skip on this opinion. I think that's dumb. It looks amazing the way it is. Funny they mentioned that majestic bird, but I actually hated using that bird. It moved so slow. Worst part. Boosting save options. I know you want to save scum, but you know what? Skip on that opinion as well. There is no quick save feature, but they've already taken away so many iconic things about Dragon Quest. Some classic things that is inherent to Dragon Quest, such as using the priestess divination to know of your XP when you're going to level up next. Zoom now works anywhere, even indoors, so when you fly up with Zoom, you don't get bonked on the head if you're indoors anymore. So being able to save anywhere and not just from a priest, I think already takes that away. But the autosave feature works after every battle and after every time you enter a building or a dungeon, so it doesn't really matter. And with Zoom being able to be used anywhere, just zoom back to Aliahan and go hire a priest and save there. Don't be a lazy butt. Okay, customizing appearance, yeah, I get that, because you get 3 general look options from 2 different genders, and then you get different hairstyles. But overall, it's pretty limited. However, the biggest change that I'd like them to have instead is for your armor to show up when you equip them. So therefore, I can no longer care about your appearance. You're such a small sprite anyways, so I almost don't care. I'd rather be able to see the armor that I'm wearing instead of just the cat suit or the magical bikini. Overall, out of their 6 opinions, I agreed with 4 of them, because honestly, as amazingly beautiful Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D is, it's quite outdated in terms of modernized gameplay, and a few tweaks here and there would have really made this such a much better game. Their quality of life that they've added and their desire to still stick with the classics is fine, but there are just some key things that they could have allowed and really expanded on the quality of life, such as the random battles. Besides the comments that I made about their 6 opinions for Dragon Quest 3, going over to Dragon Quest 1 and 2, the one thing that I would like for them to add or change is that I wish they would elaborate more on some of the dungeons. In Dragon Quest 3, one of the main part of the game is that you have to collect these 6 orbs, and they take you some really cool locations, but when you finally get to those locations, it's very anticlimactic because it didn't become a cool dungeon, it was just there. So I just hope that they would add new locations and new dungeons for us to traverse through. Anyways, Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D was a fun game. You guys should play it. And hopefully I'll have my review out soon.